Hello, welcome to Talks with Cassie, where I have something to say, you have something to say, and we all want to be heard. I am so excited about my guest today. He's like family to me. I've known him for a long time, and I felt only blessed to have him on the show and interview him because he always interviewing everybody else. And I just want to share some of his, would you say, accolades?
Accolades.
So, what of I know, he's an artist, a producer, he's active in the community, he's an author of upcoming books, he has a TV show, he's a vet, and he's a man with many hats. And I would like to welcome him to the show. I had to give him his flowers and welcome him, Mr. Marv Kennel. How are you?
I am good. I've seen your show and I was waiting for my turn. Really, because this is what we do.
Yes, yes.
And a lot of times hearing what you actually do from coming from somebody else, you'd be like, "Wow, I didn't know I did all of that."
Right.
But what happens is one thing leads to another, and another thing leads to another. So you'd be like, by the time you pull it all together, you'd be like,
You don't even know it.
because I met y'all during the Clockwork
Right.
season. So, I was there. And then when everybody, started moving on and flying the coop, I had to pick up the mic myself to actually show them how to do it.
Right.
So time. And you say, okay, I did that. And I'm still putting out singles. I got a couple records out there right now.
Right.
But you go past it. So hearing it, you're like, whoa.
Wow.
So
Was, or should I say is music your first love?
yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
And I've known that from over the years. And, just knowing you, I know you love music. And even now, you're still pushing and doing your music.
Yeah, it's not, I don't have the passion that I had, the drive.
Right.
You get older and,
Yeah.
and then nothing against some of the stuff that's coming out today, but
Different.
yeah, they're not even doing 16s.
Right,
They're not spitting
right.
16s. I don't know what that is, man.
It's kind of like it's about the hook.
But
It's like
Still.
the hook of the song is gonna make the song.
so don't call yourself a rapper.
Right. Exactly.
It gets to the point where it's almost disappointing
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, there's one girl out there. I can't stomach her. No disrespect.
It's no lyrics. It's
yeah,
no
you're like, what she say?
right.
That new young lady that's coming out, she nice. What's her name? Dolce?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
she's a problem.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
a problem. But that's you lose your taste for it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
other than that, we move on.
Well, let's talk about your TV show. You've interviewed so many people, and I felt only right to say, let me get Marv up here. One, because if it hadn't been for you encouraging me, that day we sat at the park,
Right.
and you pushed me and you said, do it. I told you my vision, and you said, do it. And it's because of you that, I'm still new to it, but
Right.
you said go for it.
And it's funny too when I got into it. I've been around it for a long time. Shouts out to Big Al and Pop
Right,
T,
right.
JCT, and just the TV station. It's BCC TV now. So shouts out to them. I've been around
Right.
it for so long.
Right.
And when you start to do your own, and this is what people will do. People will come up to you, like most of the people before was the music. Hey, Marv, how's the music
Right.
going? Now it's Marv, why ain't on your show? Why ain't on your show?
Right,
I'm
right.
like, so you can see the transition. Give me a call. Give me a call. Y'all just give me a call and we can work it out. So you see the transition. I'm in what, my fifth season now?
I can't believe it.
I
I can't
when you
believe
look
it.
when you look back, it starts to go and go and go and go, and you're like, wow, I did that many.
Yes, and it goes fast because
Right,
when you did your first show,
right,
you invited us on, and
right,
it still feel like it's been, what, like a year,
right.
you know?
Because it's never about me.
Right,
It's never about me.
right,
I don't. I do it so people have that voice.
right,
Here,
exactly.
say, look, you
Be
can say
heard.
what you want to
Yes,
say.
being
Like I'll
heard.
do the
Yep.
little controversy. I had my man Ronnie up here. I bring Ronnie along because I told him that's what I was gonna do. I
Right,
said I'm gonna keep pushing you
right,
out there.
right.
So speak your piece. Speak
And he
your
has a lot to
piece.
say.
Yeah,
He has a lot to
speak your
say.
piece, man. Whether he's wrong, right, or indifferent.
Right.
Speak
Everybody
your
has
piece.
an opinion.
There you
Everybody
go.
has an
There you
opinion.
go. My
And like
show
I
is
said, everybody want to be heard and talked to about,
right,
something
right,
that they have an idea of, or
right,
you know what I mean? So
right.
I get that.
And,
So,
and, and it's unique, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go
uh-huh.
ahead.
So you maybe about a couple months ago was talking to me about this book that you got coming out, and we were conversating about it. It's not out yet,
No, it's
but
coming
talk a little bit
along.
about it.
You know, okay. I came from um, the federal prison.
Right,
Not as an inmate, as a staff.
right, right.
So, I used to carry these little notebooks around in my pocket. So I would go in the bathroom and write in them every day. So
Journaling.
that they piled
Right,
up.
right.
So what I did was I started taking them apart and setting up my book with them. But when you are writing your first book, it's a nightmare. Because you're never done.
Right,
When
right.
you never. And then I was talking to my people that I retired with, and he was like, "Yo, you should talk about some of that Navy stuff." I said, "Man, that Navy thing is difficult."
It is.
Because I can take you from when I first joined in bits and pieces throughout the 9 years.
And it could go on and
Yeah,
on and on.
man, you
Yeah,
talking, man, look,
yeah.
you figure you take a 18, 19-year-old black dude from the projects and take him and put him in other countries. Hip hop black dude at that. And you take him and put him in other countries and say, behave.
Right.
And then, young men, testosterone, and,
All over the
all the
place, right?
above. And you know what? Beautiful women, and just you're losing your mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember, quick story. We went to Panama. Now, one of my brothers, he's a DJ from Pittsburgh. They let him get on the turntables. Oh my God. This is in 92. We went from Connecticut down around and we stopped in Panama. Oh my God. We set it off. Half of the boat was in there too. The boat is a sub.
Right.
So half of the boat was in there. My man was DJing. He passed that mic to me. Turn up.
Right.
Turn
Right.
up. I turned the whole place upside down.
See,
Turn up.
the love of music.
The
We
love.
go right back to the music.
And I felt like I was garbage back then, but turn up. You give me that room and that space. I'll never forget that because he was up there and he's kind of quiet. He was up there and he said, here, let's go.
That's all you needed.
And the boat went
give
crazy.
You the mic and it's a wrap, right?
The Navy went crazy.
So back to this book.
The book. Now
That's
back to the book.
Yes.
So, instance like that, you can't. It's hard to kind of
It's a
put
lot.
into a
It's a lot.
perspective. Like you know, the good, the bad. You know, there's some stories, man, that
Yeah.
you know I would have got in trouble,
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
trouble. So it's hard to kind of. You do a minimum of 2 years at every duty station. This is in the Navy. So how do you put all that in a book?
I know that's right. That's about 10 books if you ask me. And you write about when you writing because I'm writing a book too. And sometimes it's depending on what you're writing, it's complicated.
Yeah.
Because there's things you can put in and things you don't put in.
Right.
And then like you said, a book could go forever.
Right.
And it could become books,
Yeah.
not just a book. So I do get that.
Right.
So do you want to say the name of your book?
It's called From the Outside In. I just, what it was when I first started there, it was all women. As a young man, you really have to find that
Especially as a man around
as a
women.
man. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be clear about what I'm saying. You know, men, oh yeah, I could do it. I could.
Gotta be hard.
You got 11 to 1,200 women. Somebody got your number. Whether it's a conversation, what your wife think about this? Ding, 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 ding. You just trying to find out and see whether I got a wife or not. Shut up. Leave me alone. But you know what I'm saying. So every type of female you could ever think of
Wow.
was there.
Color,
Color,
nationality,
creed,
just
everything.
everything.
You're looking at these women stripped.
Right.
Not stripped down physically,
Right.
but no makeup, no,
Right, right.
all natural. And then they're in from the streets, so you know they're eating right. They're thick and
Yeah,
thin, and
yeah.
you know you see some things, you be like, wow.
Wow.
So you have to learn how to
Discipline.
discipline yourself and turn that mechanism off. You can't. You look, turn it off and leave it at home. I used to be like, get away from me, get away from me, leave me alone, stay away from me.
Right.
There was an older lady from Detroit. She had multiple life sentences. She would sit down with me and talk to me. And she got me through, basically keeping all them ratchet ones away from me. But I used to talk to them and be like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you?
Yeah. So you got a book.
I got a book.
You know, just a matter of
Because
sitting down.
nobody's talking about it.
Yes, and that's what I was saying to you. You just got to sit down, and some of the stories you told me what I say.
Right.
I said, Mara, break it down this way and put this, and the way you was telling me about the funny parts, and
Yeah.
just do it. So
Right. Because
what?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, you got this. You got this.
Yeah, it's just being able to complete it and say,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
done.
it's hard though.
Let's put it out.
Yeah, it is.
But, you know, just even, you know, thinking about the experience of it all. Now, I worked for the state of Georgia
Right.
in the Department of Corrections down there. That was a learning experience.
Right.
Because, for one, I'm a Yankee. For two, I was a $1.75. And then you got them big cornbread eating dudes, and you know everybody want to challenge you.
Right.
But you know I wasn't right in the head anyway.
Right. But
so I
you
got it.
You got it. You got
By
it.
the time it
You
was
came
time for
this
me
far.
to leave, they was like, "Yo,
Right,
you
right.
all right, man."
Right. So I have another question.
Go ahead.
How did you come up with your saying at the end of your show? It's
For the people, by the people, about the people.
How did you come up with that? That's amazing.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about it, my show, like I'm doing your show now. Your show is about me today,
Right,
right?
right.
So when you came on my show was about you that day. So every time the person comes on my show, it's not about me. I want to,
Right.
you know, I'm talking
Right.
to the dude that might have did 12 years 8 years. I'm talking to the young lady that got this going on. Your
Yeah.
daughter with the books, and I love y'all
Everybody.
family.
Yes.
I really do
Yes.
because you know why? Y'all got each other back.
Yes.
That is so
Yes. Oh,
powerful.
listen.
That's powerful.
Bonded.
So it's never the clock hour is never about me.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I've interviewed people from former FBI agent. It's about him. I want to pick his brain.
Yes.
See what
Yes.
what he knows. I'm
Yeah.
not going to overtalk him because I want to know what this guy knows.
Right. Yeah.
You
Everybody
know,
got a testimony.
for the
Everybody
people, by
got.
the people, about the
Yes.
people.
Yes. I love that. I love that because, like you said, everybody has a story.
That's what this
Everybody.
is.
Everybody has a story.
Right.
And that's my point of doing what I'm doing because I know people with some serious testimonies and I want to hear the
Right.
testimonies. Not I
Right.
know people get to where they are. You got your shows, you got it, but what made you get to that point to say that's it
Right.
when it's down and because everybody gets to a point where it's like okay that's it I need to do something different or if you're down and you've been through something and that push my son used to say say to me all the time when you get tired and you really tired
Right.
that's when you do something
Right.
so at that point everybody gets tired and then how did you come with your show what pushed you to get you know what I mean to come up with these ideas because you was at a point where you had to make a move.
Well, you know, I got to tell the story. So Al hollered at me, called me, and he was talking about doing another show,
Right.
hosting another show.
Right.
So the direction I was thinking wasn't it. So he said, "You want your own show?" I said, "Let me think about it."
Right.
So I went home and scratched my head and, yeah, let's go. And that's it ever since.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times you got to sit still. You sit still and let it catch you.
Yeah.
Because if you're moving, it's not going to catch you. Whatever's supposed to catch you, I can't even say I transitioned. I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be in a house down in Virginia. But they threw me under the bus, messed up my situation, so I just came back home. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And sometimes God places us in places where we think we're supposed to
Right.
be there and we're actually not.
Right.
And you get placed.
I get
in
that, but that's
know,
where I wanted to be. You know what I
But
mean?
maybe it wasn't. Look at what
Right.
you're doing now. So
Come
maybe
on,
it wasn't. You know what I mean?
look.
Everything happened for a reason.
Right. You know? But, at the same time, I don't know what I was. I wanted to be retired. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not really retired. I'm grinding pretty much not as hard as I was, but almost as hard as I was when I was working.
But you're doing what you love.
I'm doing
So even though you retired, right?
right.
So imagine if you retired and you just be like, okay, I'm retired, but you're doing what you love.
True. Makes sense. Yeah, because it's like a transition.
Right.
You move from one room to the other,
Yeah.
and that's it. And I still got access. As far as the music goes, that's my love.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
That I
first
know.
love. Yeah.
I know that.
I
Yeah.
used to, when I was riding and stuff, I carry my iPad with me. I got programs in the iPad and stuff, but like I said, my first idea was to move to VA. I was supposed to close and everything. I
Right.
got sidetracked,
Right.
but it is what it is. I'm here, so I make the best out of it.
Right.
This is
Right.
the best that I got, and I try to give Waterbury what I can, and along the way there's a few hiccups, but I do what I
Right.
can
Which
around
which
here.
happens.
Yeah.
Which happens. So what's next for you? Like what do you
I don't
got
know.
next? I heard your
The
podcast.
podcast. The Lock and Key podcast. It's me, former CEO, and a former inmate. And funny thing is, he sound more like the CEO than I do. I sound like the inmate.
Right.
But it's a good combination because we're giving you both sides
Right.
of the spectrum because Danbury was all women until like 2013 or 15. Then they brought in the men. And that changed the dynamics of it. So I was there when these guys was getting off the bus.
Right. Right.
And quiet as kept, some of them so-called staff members were scared.
So I have this game. It's not really a game. I have questions from 1 through 4,
Okay.
and I want you to pick a number, and then when you pick the number, I'll give you the question, and then you just basically run off of what it is.
3.
Shout out to who?
Shout out to my friends and family, really. Waterbury, some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. You know, I think when my brother passed, that was some of them understanding and realizing that we were brothers.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was. I did not know that was your brother.
That was
I did
my
not know that
brother.
was your brother. Wow.
Right. A
Wow.
lot of people.
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, he went his way and I went mine.
Yeah,
know.
and you didn't see y'all together all the time. When
The
when it was
90s.
yeah, when it was posted, and I was like, that was his brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
The 90s.
Wow.
That's when we was hanging tight.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So-
shout out to them,
Yeah.
to my people, and you know, the people that know, the people that don't know, now you know.
If you could give an encouraging word to anybody out there that wants to do what we're doing, and I'm excited because I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm moving in the direction that my vision is. So, what would you tell someone else that want to try to do this to encourage them?
Think about it. Write down your ideas.
Right.
And you really gotta get focused on your work ethic. Like I was at a school for the past couple of months, so you know you're working all week and then you get up, you gotta come and do this. So a lot of times it's a lot of work. And then you sit home with it and you get it. Be ready for the work.
Right.
You know, if you're not ready for the work, don't do it.
And it really is a lot of work, because you know they say if you have a vision, you can make your vision
Right,
manifest.
right, and
But like you said, it takes the work.
right, the
Putting your
work.
vision, it's like a vision board.
Right.
Putting your things down on paper, your ideas, writing it down. So
Absolutely, because you know a lot of times you get sidetracked and you know like people throw different ideas at me all the time.
right,
And I understand that, but I'm honest with myself. Like I don't think I could
Right.
do it,
right,
or I'll tell you, yeah, I
yeah,
could do it.
right,
I don't think I could do that.
right,
I don't feel like I got something on the table I got to do now. But this is for a friend of mine. A Journey Too Tough to Quit on Amazon. A Journey Too Tough to Quit on Amazon. A Journey Too Tough to Quit on Amazon by Sharon White.
nice,
Go get it.
nice.
Go
I have to
get it.
that. I love reading, so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to get that. I'm
Go
definitely gonna have
get
to
it.
get that.
And that's my people. And I'm editing her audio book right now. So it's some when I could get to it, I get to it. I'm glad that it's not a rushed
Right.
thing
Right. Right.
because
You got so
sometimes
much. You do so much.
sometimes I
You
want to
always
go
doing
lay down,
something.
man.
Yeah.
I ain't
You
lying.
always doing
Yeah, I'm
something.
gonna go lay
Every time
down.
I
But you
so
know how it is.
yeah. So you do have a single,
Yeah,
right? That you put out.
yeah.
What's your single?
Who am I? It's on your streaming platforms. Marv Kennel. Who am I? Grind mode still out there. Uh, uh, Who am I is still out there. I just put that one out not too long ago around my birthday, in February.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The singles I be forgetting about it
I
because
know you do,
you
but
know what?
I be listening to it, and I be like, what little video I could put to this grind mode and to
Right,
this song, just to put it out there
right.
that it's you. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It's funny too because I'll go into an archive and I'll find the record. The records I've done them a while back. I'd be like, oh, I forgot I did this.
Right.
Oh, I forgot I did.
It's funny, right? Because I was talking to my daughter a couple of days ago, and there's a song. Oh my God, I can't think of it right now. That you produced with her singing when she was younger. Urges building up, and I bet you don't even remember it. I got these urges building up.
Yeah, yeah.
That song is
I don't know
nut,
where
right?
it's at
And
though.
and and she has it, and she kept saying, "Yeah, that was your beat." And
Tell her to send me a copy.
listen, and
Look,
if you listen to it, it's still
it's
the
funky.
beat.
Right.
And when she said it, I was like, "That sounds like Marv beat." You know what I mean? But I'm gonna see if I can get a copy
Because
of it.
your kids, they had something.
They still got something, I'm
You know what
sure.
I mean? Because
It's just going in a different
right.
direction.
And you know what? It was them two together. And I was like,
They
ooh.
work well
I was
together.
like,
They work well
ooh.
together.
Like when we went to
Unfortunately,
New Haven, I was like,
yeah.
ooh.
Unfortunately, things are going in a different
That's
direction,
the
but it's
nature of the
never stopped
beast.
and never stops.
Nature of the beast.
It's just more. You know what I mean?
Nature of the beast.
Yes.
I'm glad I
Yes.
was a part of all that. And I
Yes.
thank you for bringing me on your show.
Yeah. Thank you. I thank you for keeping me encouraged and keeping on me to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I love it. Always remember to be yourself. Trust God in the process that you will be going in. And I'm just thankful for this journey. And I can't wait to the next episode. I'm excited.
There you go.
Thank
There
you,
you
Barb
go.
Keno.
You're very welcome. What is Cassie?
Cassie, talks with Cassie.
Talks with Cassie.
Yes. You never know who's next.
That's right.
Is that it?
Peace.
Wow, that was good, right?
Yeah. We not